Hello class, now we are going to take some notes on translations. And the translation we're talking about is where we translate words into mathematical operations. So first addition, these are some words that mean addition: sum, plus, add, more than, increase, together. And these are just a few of them. There are many more. And we'll talk about that by the end of the video. But if you can think of some extra ones, you can go ahead and write them down. But these are six that that we're going to see the most. And remember, you can pause the video to make sure you get the notes, so that you don't miss out on anything. Next is subtraction. A few words that stand for subtraction are difference, minus, decrease, less than, and a lot of times we got to remember when we use less than, you have to swap the order of the numbers. And then take away. Once again, there are many more. If you can think of a couple more, go ahead and write them down as well. Division. You have quotient, half, divide by. So that's only three, and just looking at some of the words we use there, it would be very important to know a couple more. So if you think of some, write it down and get ready to share with the class. Multiplication, you got product, twice, double, triple, times. That's only 5 of them again. So again, if you can think of some more, go ahead and write them down so that we can discuss it in class and make sure that we are on the right path with our thinking. Exponents. You'll hear squared, cubed, to the power of, raised to a power, and there are a couple more that you will hear. Again, if you can think of one, or if you think that you're thinking of one, write it down so that we can double check and make sure. Right now, what we're trying to make sure is that we understand the vocabulary and the language of math. That a lot of times that's one of the most difficult things to get past in our understanding. All right, so here are a couple examples. We're going to do, I think, 3 or 4 examples, and then we'll do some practice problems. So first, I want you to you have the sum of a number and 10. If I'm going to translate that, what I want you to do is write that as an algebraic expression. So we know that the word sum means to add. So we're going to add a number in 10. Well, do we know what that number is? No. So we just talked about when we was talking about the parts of an algebraic expression. If we have an unknown number, we use a variable. So you would use any variable. I used x, but any variable plus 10 would be the correct answer to this, or the correct translation for this number sentence. The product of 9 and x squared. Okay, we know that product means to multiply, squared means to the power of 2, or the exponent 2. So we will write that as 9x squared. Now, the important thing that we need to remember that is when we're multiplying a number and a variable together, the number needs to always go first. And part of that has to do with one of the vocabulary words that we learned again in when we was talking about parts of algebraic expressions, is that 9 is that coefficient of x squared. So in order for us to properly identify 9 as the coefficient, 9 needs to be in front of the x squared. All right, we have 9 less than g to the 4th power. Okay, pause the video if you need to. Take a second and try to translate this one on your own, and then check your answer with the when I put the solution up. And as we can see, when we do that, we'll get g to the 4th power minus 9. Again, we said when there's less than, you're going to switch the order. So it's not 9 minus g to the 4th power. It's going to be g to the 4th power minus 9. All right, and here's your last example. This time we're given the number sentence or the algebraic expression, and now we want to we're given the algebraic expression. We want to translate it into a number sentence. So we have as we read it, 8 plus 3x. So I would like for you to write down how you would write that in a number sentence. And the way that I chose, the word that I chose to use for addition was increase by. So 8 increased by 3 times x. And of course, you could replace the word increase by any of those words that we discussed that means addition, or another word that you may have thought of that may mean addition. So don't be discouraged or think that you got it wrong because you did not use increase by. As long as you use the word that means addition, that is correct.